Hi guys. So as you may see in some of my comments and some of my videos, I do sometimes talk about things non-music related. This is going to be another one of them videos, as the title suggests. So if you're not interested in this, or you don't agree with it, you're fully entitled to switch off, comment, dislike it. I don't really mind. I don't have a problem with anything that you do, but something I want to talk about is the notion of resenting something or having a grudge or holding a grudge. From my experience, to a lot of people this might be complete common sense. To a lot of people it might have some significance in their life. And I'm not going to go on for 10, 20, 30 minutes. I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. And I've realized as I've got older, what a lot of the old boys and the old girls were telling me when I was younger seems to come true more and more as I get older. And I think about the music I used to listen to when I was as a child, in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, and now in my 40s. Every decade, the music has changed, right? For everyone. I mean, not many adults listen to nursery rhymes. What's the reason for that? And I don't think the reason is just because you updated your playlist, or you just don't feel that relates to you anymore. I think that one of the reasons is you slowly, as you mature, not get older, as you mature in life, you start to realize what is really valued and what is not valued. And that notion of music can be simplified or even be utilized in almost everything as you get older. Whether it comes to my taste in alcohol, when I was a teenager, anything went. I drink cider one night, or Alka-Pops the next, or whiskey and coke, or Bacardi and coke, or it didn't matter. Now I'm older, I like my ale, or bitter even, and I like my whiskey. I don't like anything else. My taste has become streamlined, as is my taste for music, my taste of clothes. I know I don't wear. I mean, I've never been a fashion icon, as you can tell, but I've never been too engrossed in labels. When I was younger, when I bought a pair of trainers or something, I wanted them to be Nike or Adidas or whatever was in at the time, clothes. But now I don't care for any of that. I don't even care. I don't care what label it says on my top, or what make my watch is. Again, things are just simplified. And the reason I'm saying this is, as you get older, this also applies to relationships, I find. A friend of everybody's is indeed a friend of nobody's. And as you mature, I don't want to just say get older all the time, because I matured late. I realized things much later in my life that people got when I was younger. I remember one of my friends called Gilly, and he used to say things when we were in school, 15, 16 years old, and even just after school. And he was so ahead of his time, and he would say things that even today make sense. And my mate Roy, he said things like years back that make sense now. For me, I kind of got these things really late, but where I am now, I can happily say, truthfully, I've probably got about 6 friends. When I was in my 30s, I probably had about 100 friends or 200 friends. When I was in my teens, I probably had about 400 friends. The word friends is subjective. It's kind of, I don't think things are just simply subjective internally and objective externally, or even you can say vice versa. But I do think that we try and summarize these things into categories. And if you were to categorize something incorrectly as, say, something as a friend when it's not a friend, you're not guilty of committing a crime. And what I mean by that is if you have a child, or if a child categorizes a dog or a cat as something fluffy they like to cuddle, they don't categorize it as such because of the species of the animal. They categorize it because it's something they like to cuddle, and that's it. That's their category. So the notion of words and semantics it's just a man-made creation to help categorize things. Categories are just efficient, and that efficiency can cause problems. I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I remember, I used to be able to remember all the houses in my street. I used to be able to remember what house looked like, next door neighbours, and what the opposition's house looked like, what my friend Andrew Tom's house looked like, what Guy Tono's house looked like, and all the houses in the streets. I used to remember, I used to be able to, even tell my brothers or my friends what cars each person had in the street. It's just something I did and something I was able to do. And now I don't remember that because each individual house has been categorized as a house. And now if I picture a house, there's a blurred memory, but I just picture, 2 up, 2 down, window, 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 door. And that's because it's become categorized, and that is efficiency. It's efficient for me and sufficient for me to just categorize a house as that image. And that simplicity is the reason I believe that our taste changes when we mature. And as we get older, we start to become more efficient with our thoughts. You don't need to think about whether you like orange juice with bits in it or not. The decision is instantaneous. When you are younger, you may need to try it. It's just another example. And when it comes to thinking about the past, it's very easy to get trapped in the feelings of memory. So what I mean by that is it's almost something that is genetically carried on in not just within your mind, body and soul, but in your perception of reality. Because most things we do are based on, or most decisions we make are based on memory, subconsciously or even consciously. If I was to focus on how somebody treated me, or what somebody said, or the way that somebody made me feel, I'm aligning my current reality with my past. That creates resentment, that creates feelings, that creates a fallacy. And what I mean by fallacy is the past no longer exists. There is no physical past, as there is no physical future. The only thing that exists, and I can tell you scientifically as a physicist quite clearly, the only thing that exists is the current, is the present. So what is the subjective use of me remembering something in the past and trying to address it in the current? What is this subjective use of me questioning something that happened in the past in order to change the current? Or should I say in order to change the future by acting on it in the current? By current, I mean the present time. And for me, the answer is very clear. There is no question. There is no question. There is no desire or need for anything in the past to be questioned. Now, obviously, if you are if you're in litigation, or if you're having a discussion with somebody about something that happened in the past, or you're talking about, you're at university and you talk about citing a law or something, or you are addressing something from the past as information, that's data, and that data is just conforming your opinion of the current presence, right? But if you didn't do that, if you really left the past in the past and just focus solely on the current, yesterday, and all the current emotions and feelings that you endured or enjoyed no longer have a bearing on your current frame of mind. And that in itself can work wonders for you, because what that means is you are living and engaging with everything around you now. And that's very difficult to do if you are hanging from the past. So when I've gone through this in my own mind and I've thought about how somebody has made me feel or what somebody said, it used to enrage me, it used to make me happy, it used to make me sad. And then what happened to me is I'll tell you the little story. I woke up one morning, and I've mentioned this story before. I woke up one morning and I couldn't sleep. So I went downstairs to get a glass of water, like many of us do. It was about 4:30. And when I went to get a glass of the water, I looked out the kitchen window and I thought, oh, it's light outside, or it's getting light. And I just stepped outside. Next thing I know, I just sat outside, and then I sat there for about half an hour. No phone, in my dressing gown. And I've done that ever since. Every single morning, I go outside, not as early, about 5 o'clock, 5:30. And I'll sit there and I will just focus on the present time. I would focus on there and now and then. I won't think about yesterday. I won't think about my day ahead. I will just think and feel everything around me now. And if you think I am talking gibberish, which you're fully entitled to, I'm going to test you, and I would like you to try this. I'm not saying get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Do what you want to do, right? But try focusing just on what's going on now. I'm not talking in this video, unless you want to. If you was to just focus on this video, try and just think about what I'm saying. I'm not saying think about what I'm saying because what I'm saying is right. I'm saying think about what I'm saying so you don't think about anything else. And try and let them, images that come into your mind, let them come into your mind and let them go away again. Picture yourself sitting, on top of a hill, and you're looking down the hill and you see a road, and on this road there are cars going up and down. Each one of these cars is a thought or a memory. Let them just go. Don't try and stop them. Let them come into your vision and let them go out of your vision. Let them come into your mind and let them go out of your mind. Don't fight them. Because what happens is when cars are going in this direction and you stop one, you just collide behind it. And then you get mental congestion. Instead, let them flow, let them go. Try it. Try next time when you feel angry or upset, or when you are trying to wind down, or if you have a feeling about something that happened in the past, try and just focus on the now. That's it. It's nothing profound. Just focus on what's going on around you. Focus on what you can hear and what you can see, what you can smell, what you can touch. And really engage and embrace yourself in that. Now, if that can be of nature, even better. When I sit outside, I don't sit on the patio, I sit in the grass. I sit next to where the bumblebees collect their nectar. I like to watch them. I like to watch the trees swaying like drunken giants in the wind. I like the noise. I like to be one with nature in the present time. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And in that respect, you'll find that these resentments or these feelings or these notions of regret or these hang-ups we have from the past slowly become irrelevant. And I use that word purposely. And I'll leave you with this one last thought. Can you try right now to imagine the world where memory doesn't exist? Just as a thought experiment, think to yourself, there's no such thing as memory. It's difficult. It's really difficult because everything or a lot of the things we do and think are based on our memory. Substitute that memory with the current and present time. Live in this moment. And I think once we do that, we would be more engaged and more intimate with the current time and with nature and the things around us and people around us, rather than hanging on to past thoughts. That's it. Nothing overly profound. I hope it means something to you guys, as it did to me. Take care.